Hi there. Today, we're embarking on a captivating journey as we step back in time to explore the legendary TV series, The Big Valley. I'm sure many of you hold fond memories of this classic show. The Big Valley is a timeless gem that has left an indelible mark on television history. Join us as we relive the magic, revisiting the series with the entire cast, then and now. We'll uncover the original identities and ages of the talented actors from the show and witness how they've transformed in the year 2023. So without further ado, let's dive into the world of The Big Valley together. Richard Long as Gerard Barkley. Gerard Thomas Barkley, the firstborn son of Thomas and Victoria Barkley, is an esteemed attorney in the field of law. The well-educated, polished, and more composed of the Barkley siblings manages all of the family's legal and business matters. While Gerard, a proficient lawyer, leans towards using the law to resolve conflicts, he is recognized for resorting to frontier justice and violence when circumstances demand it. In 1946, Richard Long secured his inaugural role in the film Tomorrow is Forever as Drew, the offspring of the characters portrayed by Claudette Colbert and Orson Welles. The role had been vacant for several months, and Long, closely fitting the necessary criteria, was chosen by producers. This marked the beginning of his contract with International Pictures. Long served a 2-year term in the U.S. Army during the Korean War, stationed at Fort Ord, California, alongside fellow actors Martin Milner, David Janssen, and Clint Eastwood. He also had a posting in Tokyo, Japan. Long was married twice. His first wife, singer and actress Susan Ball, whom he wed on April 11, 1954, passed away from cancer just 14 months later at the age of 21. They had met in 1953, and after her cancer diagnosis, they married in April 1954. Following the amputation of her right leg. In 1957, he tied the knot with actress-model Mara Corday in Las Vegas. Despite having 3 children together during their tumultuous marriage, Carrie, Valerie, and Gregory, their relationship faced challenges. In 1961, Long faced legal troubles when Corday accused him of assaulting her while intoxicated. Though initially expressing intent to file for divorce, Corday later reconciled with Long. Long's health became a concern as he contracted pneumonia in his youth, weakening his heart. As an adult, he endured cardiac issues and suffered his initial heart attack in 1961. Following a month-long stay in Tarzana Medical Center in Los Angeles for additional attacks, he passed away on December 21, 1974, just 4 days after his 47th birthday. Peter Breck as Nick Barkley. Nicholas Nick Jonathan Barkley is the fiery younger sibling of Gerard Barkley, the elder brother of Audra and Eugene Barkley, the senior half-brother of Heath Barkley, and the offspring of Thomas and Victoria Barkley. Following the demise of his father, Nick assumes the role of managing the family ranch. His distinctive appearance includes a black leather vest, a sizable black hat, and black leather gloves, and he is known for his combative tendencies and boisterous manner. After his service in the United States Navy post-World War II on the aircraft carrier USS Franklin D. Roosevelt, CV-42. In the 1940s, Breck engaged in professional basketball for the Rochester Royals during the 1948-49 season. Subsequently, he worked as a ranch hand while pursuing drama studies at the University of Houston. Breck made his on-screen debut in a 1958 film eventually titled The Beatniks. In 1970, he took on the role of Leif Harkness in the TV western The Men from Shiloh, later rebranded for The Virginian, in an episode titled Hannah. Most of his engagements in the 1970s and 1980s consisted of guest appearances on television series such as Alias Smith and Jones, Mission Impossible, Macmillan and Wife SWAT, The $6 Million Man, again alongside Lee Majors, The Incredible Hulk, and The Dukes of Hazzard. He also made appearances as himself on Fantasy Island and The Fall Guy, a series that also featured his former television brother, Lee Majors. Breck entered matrimony with dancer Diane Bourne in 1960, and they welcomed a son, Christopher, who succumbed to leukemia at the age of 30. In June 2010, Diane Breck, Peter Breck's wife, announced on his website that the actor had been grappling with dementia, preventing him from signing autographs for fans. Despite this health challenge, she mentioned that he continued to read and appreciate the letters. Following hospitalization on January 10, 2012, Peter Breck passed away on February 6, 2012, at the age of 82 in Vancouver, British Columbia. Lee Majors as Heath. Heath is the unacknowledged son of Thomas Barclay, the deceased spouse of Victoria Barclay. He had to physically battle his way into the Barclay residence. Initially, the composed yet rugged Heath was resentful and confrontational, fueled by his belief that his father had forsaken his biological mother upon learning of her pregnancy. This resentment was compounded by the initial resistance he encountered from some of his newfound siblings. Majors secured his inaugural, albeit uncredited, role in Strait Jacket, 1964, featuring in a flashback sequence as Joan Crawford's unfaithful spouse. Following a 1965 appearance on Gunsmoke, he took on the role of Howard White later that year in an episode of the Alfred Hitchcock Hour titled The Monkey's Paw, a retelling, adapted from W. W. Jacobs's short story. In a 2007 episode of According to Jim titled Jim Almighty, Majors portrayed the character of God. He later revisited this role in the show's 2009 series finale, Heaven Opposed to Hell. Additionally, in 2008, Majors assumed the part of a member of the Minutemen, a group dedicated to preventing illegal border crossings, in the fourth season of the Showtime series Weeds. In this role, he recruited Kevin Nealon's character. Majors also reprised his role, voice only, as Collier Steve Austin in the Bionic Woman segment of the Robot Chicken Season 4, episode Love, Maurice, 2009. The inspiration for the song Midnight Train to Georgia stemmed from Lee Majors and Farrah Fawcett. Songwriter Jim Weatherly contacted Majors and spoke briefly with Fawcett, who mentioned taking the midnight plane to Houston to visit her mother. Although Majors and Fawcett were successful at the time, Weatherly incorporated them as characters in his song, portraying a failed actress leaving Los Angeles, pursued by her devoted boyfriend. Eventually, the genders were swapped, the plane became a train, and Houston transformed into Georgia. Gladys Knight Amp the Pips recorded the song, which reached #1 in 1973. In a 1994 episode of The Simpsons, titled Burns Air, Marge Simpson daydreams about eloping with Majors. The Beastie Boys song, Lee Majors Come Again, alludes to Majors in its title. Linda Evans as Audra Barclay. Audra Barclay, portrayed by Linda Evans, is the singular daughter of Thomas and Victoria Barclay. Audra possesses a degree of immaturity, self-centeredness, audacity, and assertiveness. Far from exhibiting demure qualities, she engages in daring feats and rides in the same bold manner as her brothers. Initially skeptical of Heath's claim to be her father's son, Audra took it a step further by attempting to seduce him to expose him as a fraud, but her efforts proved unsuccessful. Over time, Audra and Heath developed a closer bond, establishing a strong brother-sister relationship. Evans earned a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a television drama series for her role in Dynasty in 1981, subsequently receiving nominations each year from 1982 to 1985. She garnered a Primetime Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Lead Actress in a drama series in 1983. Evans secured a People's Choice Award for Favorite Female Performer in a New TV Program in 1982, and for Favorite Female TV Performer in 1983, 1984, 1985, and 1986. She also received Soap Opera Digest Awards for Outstanding Lead Actress in 1984 and 1985. Her closest companions include her former stepdaughter, television writer Sean Catherine Derrick, and Bunky Young, Evans's past assistant, a relationship spanning back to the mid-1960s. Both reside in close proximity to her in Washington state. Evans also maintains a close connection with John Derrick's second wife, actress Ursula Andress, who occasionally stays at her Beverly Hills residence. Following a diagnosis of idiopathic edema, Evans delved into alternative healing, exploring Eastern philosophy and naturopathy. In 1985, she became associated with the controversial metaphysical teacher J.Z. Knight and her Ramthus School of Enlightenment, eventually relocating to Rainier, Washington, to be nearer to Knight and the school. Evans resides on a sprawling 70-acre estate, sharing the space with her sister, nephew, and former stepdaughter. In 1971, Evans appeared in Playboy magazine at the encouragement of her then-husband, John Derrick. As her fame skyrocketed with Dynasty, the photos were republished in 1982. Evans faced legal trouble in May 2014 when she was arrested for driving under the influence of a prescription drug. Barbara Stanwyck as Victoria Barkley. Victoria Barkley, played by Barbara Stanwyck, is the surviving spouse of Thomas Barkley. She serves as the matriarch of the affluent and influential Barkley clan residing in 19th-century Stockton in California's Central Valley. Victoria holds the position of owner and head of the Barkley Ranch. Her affection extends to all her children, including Heath, the illegitimate son of her late husband, whom she affectionately calls "my son." As Stanwyck's film career experienced a decline in the 1950s, she transitioned to television. In 1958, she made a guest appearance in Trail to Nowhere, an episode of the Western anthology series Dick Powell's Zane Grey Theater, portraying a wife who avenges her husband by killing a man. In 1961, Stanwyck hosted an anthology drama series titled The Barbara Stanwyck Show, earning her an Emmy Award despite its modest ratings. The show ran for a total of 36 episodes. During this period, she also guest-starred on other television series, including The Untouchables and 4 episodes of Wagon Train. While performing in The Noose, Stanwyck reportedly fell in love with her co-star Rex Cherryman, who was married. When Cherryman fell ill in early 1928, he embarked on a sea voyage, intending to meet Stanwyck in Paris. Tragically, he contracted septic poisoning at sea and died shortly after arriving in France at the age of 31. Stanwyck passed away on January 20, 1990, at the age of 82, succumbing to congestive heart failure and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease at St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica, California. Adhering to her wishes for no funeral service, her remains were cremated, and the ashes were scattered over Lone Pine, California, the location of some of her Western film productions. Napoleon Whiting as Silas. Napoleon Whiting portrayed Silas, the Barkley family's major domo, making 35 appearances. Whiting's early career was defined by his stage performances, establishing himself as a respected theater actor and garnering acclaim for his talents. As time progressed, he made the transition to on-screen roles, gracing both film and television with his presence. In the cinematic realm, Whiting took on supporting roles in various films. One notable highlight is his portrayal of Napoleon Bonaparte in the 1970 film Watermelon Man, directed by Melvin Van Peebles. This satirical comedy addresses issues of race and identity. Television played a crucial role in Napoleon Whiting's career, where he featured in numerous shows, often in guest-starring capacities. His memorable contributions include his work in the popular 1970s television series Sanford and Son. Whiting's exceptional talent allowed him to embody diverse characters, showcasing his versatility as an actor. While information about his personal life may be less publicly accessible, Napoleon Whiting has left a lasting legacy through his performances in the entertainment industry. His contributions, especially in the context of prevalent racial themes during his era, enrich the cultural and historical fabric of American film and television. Douglas Kennedy as Sheriff Fred Madden. Douglas Kennedy, formerly seen in Steve Donovan, Western Marshal, made 20 appearances as Sheriff Fred Madden. Kennedy, known for his character roles and occasional leading man status in Hollywood, entered the scene in 1935. Debuting in various supporting roles, he successfully attained contract player status, initially at Paramount Pictures and later at Warner Brothers. His acting trajectory faced an interruption during World War II, where he served as a major in the Signal Corps with the Office of Strategic Services and Army Intelligence. Post-military service, Kennedy resumed his film career, taking on character roles, often portraying Western villains or territorial marshals. He also embraced isolated leads in low-budget productions. Kennedy starred in the series Steve Donovan, Western Marshal, featuring Eddie Waller as his sidekick Rusty Lee. Additionally, he played a role in the science fiction classic Invaders from Mars, disappearing as one of the policemen. In a 1954 episode of the series Stories of the Century, led and narrated by Jim Davis, Kennedy portrayed the gunfighter William P. Longley. Married to Isabel Russell, Kennedy was a father to Douglas Kennedy, Jr. At the age of 57, Kennedy succumbed to cancer in Honolulu, Hawaii, where he had been present for the shooting of Hawaii Five-0. Charles Briles as Eugene Barclay. Charles Briles portrayed Eugene Barclay, the youngest son of the Barclay family and a medical student enrolled at Berkeley. Similar to his elder brothers, he was recognized for his occasional fiery temperament, notably depicted in the Season 1 episode titled Boots with My Father's Name. His presence graced 8 episodes in the initial season. During his tenure on The Big Valley, Briles faced a draft notice in 1965, compelling him to depart from the show. Serving in the California Army National Guard until 1972, his character, Eugene Barclay, was scripted out of the series storyline, with the explanation that he left to pursue medical studies at Berkeley. Post-acting, Briles transitioned into the realm of TV screenwriting. Additionally, he ventured into stage directing for productions in Southern California and took on roles in production and writing at the Northrop Corporation of California. Residing in Orcutt, California, Charles Briles passed away in June 2016 at the age of 71 in Portland, Oregon, succumbing to congestive heart failure. Bing Russell as Clint. Bing Russell played Clint in The Big Valley. His involvement with Jack Webb's CBS anthology series G.E. True led to his role as John Quigley, a Chicago mobster, in the episode titled 5 Tickets to Hell in 1963. The narrative unfolds as Quigley embarks on a journey to Chihuahua, Mexico, robbing the mint of $500,000 and committing 7 murders in the process. Police Lieutenant Juan Garcia, Carlos Romero, pursues Quigley and his 3 cohorts, with Barbara Luna making a guest appearance. Russell's presence was notable in the original pilot, filmed in November 1965, for the Monkees TV series, where he played Rudy, a record store owner and the group's initial manager. However, when NBC approved the show, the manager concept was discarded, and Russell's character was not retained. An edited version of this pilot, featuring Russell, aired as a regular episode during the first season and remains part of the show's syndication package. In a later role, Russell portrayed Vernon Presley alongside his son Kurt's depiction of Elvis Presley in the television movie Elvis, 1979. Their connection to Elvis Presley traced back to Kurt's childhood acting, where he shared the screen with the iconic singer-actor in the film It Happened at the World's Fair. In a subsequent interview, Kurt recalled Elvis expressing admiration and a desire to meet Bing, who had accompanied his son to the set. In 1945, while employed at Teddy's restaurant in Newport, New Hampshire, Russell was introduced to his future wife, Louise Lulu Crone. They married in 1946 and had 4 children, including actor Kurt Russell. Russell passed away on April 8, 2003, in Thousand Oaks, California, due to complications from cancer. Julie Adams as Edna Wesley. Julie Adams portrayed Edna Wesley in The Big Valley. She initially used her birth name until 1949, when she joined Universal International. At the studio, she crossed paths with future luminaries such as James Best, Piper Laurie, Rock Hudson, and Tony Curtis. Subsequently, she adopted the name Julia and later settled on Julie. Explaining the shift in 1954, she remarked, "The studio picked Julia, but I never have felt comfortable with it. I just like the name Julie better, and the studio has given me permission to make the change." In October 2012, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences curated Creature from the Black Lagoon as one of 13 classic horror films for a screening commemorating the 100th anniversary of Universal Pictures. The 3D presentation took place on October 16th at the Samuel Goldwyn Theater in Beverly Hills, California. Following the screening, Adams graced the stage for a Q&A session, sharing personal anecdotes about her role in the film and reflecting on various career projects. Adams was wed to screenwriter Leonard B. Stern from 1951 to 1953. Subsequently, she entered into matrimony with actor-director Ray Danton, and their union endured until their divorce in 1981. The couple welcomed 2 sons, Stephen Danton, who pursued a career as an assistant director, and Mitchell Danton, a film editor. On February 3, 2019, Adams passed away in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 92. Recognizing her contributions to Westerns, Adams received a Golden Boot Award in 1999. The Arkansas Entertainers Hall of Fame inducted her in 2000. At Cinecon in 2011, Adams received a Film Career Achievement Award. In 2012, she earned the Rondo Award for the Monster Kid Hall of Fame at the annual Wonderfest in Louisville, Kentucky. From the spirited Barkley family to the talented actors who brought them to life, The Big Valley remains a cherished part of television history. As we catch glimpses of their then and now moments, we're reminded of the indelible mark they left on the hearts of viewers. Join us in celebrating the timeless legacy of The Big Valley and the remarkable individuals who made it an unforgettable part of our cultural tapestry.